Ken Furtick and welcome to Tip-Off. Today it's the Townsville McDonald Suns hosting the Perth Wildcats. It's a case of 4th versus 7th on the Mitsubishi Challenge ladder, and with me as usual is Henry McCaskill. Well, Henry, the Suns really are the walking wounded at the moment. Derek Rucker, a bit of an injury. Kieran Mitchell-Hill has a broken nose from what I understand, and also Ray O's hasn't trained all week.
Well, it's true. The Suns are getting real tough at the moment, but it's time to lick their wounds and still try to crack into the top 6. And hopefully if we can win today and maybe on Monday, we have a good chance of making that top 6.
Well, traditionally the Suns have gone very well against Perth, and it's because of their defence. They've managed to keep the Wildcats under 100 points. That's obviously the key again.
Well, defence is always the key to any games. You know, it goes back to that old saying, the best offense is a good defence. But the Suns will have to stop Ricky Grace. Ricky Grace is just like Butch Hayes last week from the North Melbourne Giants. Get the ball out of his hands, the Suns will be able to control the game. They can do that with Derek Rucker, one of the premier point guards, and of course, that human spark plug, Brad Davidson.
Well, there's certainly some interesting matchups in this match, and can Brad Davidson repeat that performance? A lot of pressure on him. Let's now go to the first quarter action as the Suns take on the Wildcats. First quarter action underway here at the Townsville Breakwater Entertainment Centre. The Suns get first use in their traditional gold split. Rucker. Mitchell-Hill has been in fine form in recent weeks and gets his chance to start ahead of Simon Curl, who comes back from a 2-game suspension.
I was talking to the Suns coach, Mike Bragg, before the game, and he said that Mitchell-Hill has been playing really well, and he wasn't going to change the lineup just because Curl was off suspension.
Lichty to the hoop for the first 2 points of the game.
Todd Lichty, a great athlete from the University of Stanford. He also played a year of NBA basketball for the Denver Nuggets.
Well, that's a strong move from Tony D'Ambrosas. He took Fisher on straight away. No backward step there to tie it all up at 2 apiece.
D'Ambrosas, great matchup on Scott Fisher. Both players very physical and very strong upper body strength.
Crawford tries to get it to an unmarked Ricky Grace, but he couldn't drag it in, so it'll be a Suns possession.
Okay, James Crawford is on Ray O's. James Crawford, a veteran.
D'Ambrosas again. Well, that would have brought the house down if that went in. Not to be. 2 apiece. Lichty looks to take Cameron on. That should be a good matchup. Lichty and Cameron. Rucker picks off the pass, then puts on a few moves. Goes coast to coast.
Derek Rucker, a great steal. Read the play perfectly, picking up the pass from Todd Lichty, driving coast to coast, showing true athleticism with that lay-in.
Suns lead 4-2 on the Price Attack scoreboard. Stewart. Good defense from Tony D'Ambrosas, and the Suns in transition again. Rucker decides to take the 5 of them on. D'Ambrosas spots up for 2.
D'Ambrosas with a pull-up jump shot, and that's a good sign. It's good to see the big fella have a good start. Suns out in front, 6-2 on the Price Attack scoreboard.
The Rucker on Grace. He gets around Rucker easy, penetrates, and that's where he's dangerous, Ricky Grace. And Crawford just puts it home for 2.
Ricky Grace showing a great crossover move, penetrating and dishing off to the Alabama slammer, James Crawford.
Curl. His first touch of the ball doesn't produce results. And the Wildcats just starting to dominate the boards now. Grace again, penetrating. Good hands from Grant Kruger.
Great defense from Grant Kruger.
Now Rucker, can he make the Wildcats pay? O's is fouled by Lichty and will have to earn the 2. O's gets them both. Price Attack score 12-10 with 6 minutes remaining in this first term. Cameron now has swapped. Crawford fakes once, goes up, gets 2.
James Crawford showing tremendous low post moves that time. Turning baseline, showing his quickness, going around Kruger and scoring that basket.
Curl now back from suspension, keen to have a big game.
Anthony Stewart just guarding him like a glove. Shot clock is at 10 seconds. Kruger, nowhere to go, decides to go over the top, and the Wildcats come up with it. This is Grace. Penetrates again, dishes out to find Crawford. Ray O's. O's, a bit too far out for him. Oh, Ray O's.
Ray O's with a great crossover move from the wing. Scored that basket.
And equal to the task, James Crawford comes down and banks two. So they're keeping their noses in front, the Perth Wildcats. 20. Oh, Grant Kruger, tenacious stuff, and he's been rewarded by keeping it alive for the Suns. O's has found range.
Well, there you go.
27-21 says the price attack score. 1.5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Lichty. Lindstrom has the job on him.
The Suns are now into a zone.
Rucker penetrates. Gets it to Phil Doherty, and he'll go to the stripe to earn 2 points. Phil Doherty makes them both, and the Wildcats are out by 8. Rucker. Curl, just a tad rusty from his 2-match suspension, but it is early days, and as I say that, he launches one. Grace comes over the top, but it's play on. Ricky Grace has been dynamic in this first quarter. The Suns will just milk the clock and ensure that the Wildcats, if they can help it, don't get possession. Lindstrom to Curl, he's unmarked, and it's sweet.
And the Wild thing hit his first 3-pointer of the quarter. The Suns are still trailing 24-29 on the price attack scoreboard.
Now trailed by 3 on the price attack score, 29-26. Still 9.5 minutes to play in this second quarter. Stewart, perimeter passing from the Wildcats as the Suns go into a bit of a zone defense.
Great defense from D'Ambrosas.
The Suns chase everything and force the jump ball.
And there's a jump ball. Now, speaking of perimeter players, Ricky Grace is second in the league in 3-point percentage. That's at 46%. So you wouldn't want to leave him too free beyond the arc. Oh, this is interesting. Brad Davison in a jump with Scott Fisher.
Well, he gave it his all too. It wasn't too far off the mark. Grace, just as...
There's Ricky Grace with that 3-point shot.
Henry mentioned, the SOS Higher statistics say he's pretty hot from out there, and he showed exactly how. O's now looking to take on the inexperience
It
of
amazes
Dwayne
me.
Michaels.
It amazes me the number of players who reckon they never foul.
Rucker coming off the screen. O's was up there. Grace comes up with it, but O's.
Great hustle from Jason Cameron. Picking up that loose ball in the keyway and finding a high-jumping Ray O's. Derek Rucker on Ricky Grace.
So foul has been called on the Dwayne Michaels on this occasion, just making a bit too much room.
The Suns are back into their man-to-man.
Cameron doing an excellent job at the moment on Lichty. Look at that for defense.
Well, that's what they call Jason Cameron, the defensive specialist. He's got the hard part.
Shot clock at 1 second. Lichty had to fire that.
Great team defense. And you can best believe that Derek Rucker is going to score here.
Well, he unleashes one.
What did I tell you? 3-pointer from Derek Rucker. Suns take the lead, 36-34. He's the master. He's the master. The premier point player.
Now again, the Suns looking to do it, repeat the performance, but Lichty this time, but
Ray O's up high for a rebound.
Now they can take the lead even further here. Oh, it was almost on the money from Davidson.
Wow.
Now the Wildcats. They find an unmarked Scotty Fisher, and he eventually gets two. Kruger looking to get around Fisher. He does. Got a Perth Wildcats hand, and they come up with it. Fisher.
Oh, great block shot from Derek Rucker over Scott Fisher. He couldn't believe it.
Well, how's that for a mismatch? The skipper.
And you know what he's going to do? He's going to score. Derek Rucker. Block shot, coast-to-coast layup. How does he do it?
Jason Cameron unleashes one and gets it.
Jason Cameron, the Macabre-born product, for three. Suns now lead 43-42 on the Price Attack scoreboard.
Lichty finds a bit of room, just weaves some magic, Todd Lichty. Rucker penetrates, gives it to Panisi. It gets in eventually.
Derek Rucker finding David Panisi, who just did a reverse baby hook for the score. Real soft touch from the big guy.
Suns out by one. Panisi now looking to do it defensively on Crawford, and he does it, but he's called for a foul. Got 5,000 points last week in the game against the Magic. Fourth fastest player to get 5,000, and Kieran Mitchell-Hill gets two.
Well, Kieran Mitchell, a Townsville product, scoring on the baseline.
Good hands from Panisi, but he forgot to follow it up. Now Stewart for three. It's sweet, and that gives the Wildcats a three-point buffer. So the SOS higher statistics, the Suns, for every foul, the Wildcats will go to the line. Here's a prayer from Mitchell-Hill. So right on the buzzer at half-time, the Wildcats go to the major break with a 52-49 lead.
Well, I think, you know, defensively and even on offense, I think we're okay. I just think that our rebounding, you know, has been very, very poor. And we've given them a lot of second shots, and that's really the difference in the game right now.
Well, so far for the Wildcats, James Crawford has 17 points, Ricky Grace with 14 points. Do you think you have to go out of your way to contain this pair?
Well, a lot of that, again, is coming from second shots. You know, I'll go back. They have 13, I think, offensive rebounds, and that's just way too many. And if we can just restrict them to the one shot every trip down the floor, we're going to win the game. But we've got to do a lot better job than what we did in that first half.
Well, a 28-point second term for the Suns certainly has brought them back into it. Let's now have a look at the SOS higher statistics. 3 points the difference, Henry. Obviously anyone's ball game.
All right, Ken. Right now it's anyone's ball game. The Suns are still in it, getting great offense from Ray O's with 16 points and Derek Rucker with 13 points. However, also the Wildcats have 17 points from the Alabama Slammer, James Crawford, from 17, and Ricky Grace from 14. However, the team that controls the boards controls the game, and the Wildcats right now are controlling the rebounds 30-23. 13 of those rebounds are offensive, allowing the Wildcats too many offensive, or make that second shots at the basket, and you cannot allow a team with the experience of the Wildcats to have second and third shots at the baskets.
Okay, and field goal shooting percentage very similar for both sides, as the score would indicate. And we've had a bit of a break here as well. Everyone was evacuated from the furnace. It just got a bit too hot in here. So well, it would be interesting to see what sort of effect that has on any of the teams. But let's now have a look at Helen Coyne and see how she goes shooting for the Mitsubishi Lancer with the shot from halfway.
Better luck next time, Helen.
Have you always wanted to shoot for the Mitsubishi Lancer at halftime at the Suns games? You could win a fabulous Suns pack, including cap, T-shirt, shorts, a family pass to the next Suns game, and of course the opportunity to shoot for the Mitsubishi Lancer. Here is this week's question. To enter, phone 1902 555 905 and register your answer. The winner will be notified this Thursday. There is no limit on how many times you can enter, so don't miss out on your chance to shoot for the Mitsubishi Lancer.
You gotta fight for your right to party! It's like that, and that's the way it is.
Third quarter about to get underway, in fact is underway on tip-off. The Wildcats and the Suns, nothing separating the two sides, or very little anyway, as the Alabama slammer makes a statement straight away. And the SOS higher statistics, he's up to 19 points for the game.
Okay, the Suns have Simon Curl starting the third quarter. That'll give him some offensive spark. And Simon Curl scores straight away.
On cue from Henry McCaskill, Curl. It's really going to be an arm wrestle, this, between the two sides. The defense of the Suns stepping up a couple of cogs late in that second quarter.
Tony D'Ambrosio is doing well to break up that pass from Ricky Grace. Ricky Grace is being defended by Simon Curl, so that should be an interesting backcourt duel there.
So the shot clock hasn't reset. It's at 9 seconds. Cameron got a good piece of that. It's play on. Rucker straight to Curl. He finds the open lane, but can't make it count.
Well, Curl's unfortunate to miss that shot. But then again, that break was triggered by the great defense of Jason Cameron.
Fisher is fouled. He's hammered.
Well, Tony D'Ambrosio has got a handful trying to block out the big, powerful Scott Fisher. But then again, rebounding is all a matter of position. He must maintain that inside position, particularly on the weak side.
Fisher makes it a 4-point ball game. Early stages of the third quarter. SOS higher statistics, Fisher up to 8 points. Shot clock stands at 15 seconds for the Suns. Curl looking for an option. He gets one in his skipper. Good ball movement. O's. Well, Ray O's playing on one leg. SOS higher statistics. He's up to 18.
Rayos is a great force, not only in the low post, but showing on that last shot, he can shoot from the high post also.
Lichty. Grace for three, connects. Ricky Grace.
Ricky Grace is a danger. He's a danger on that three-point line.
SOS higher statistics, 17 points for Ricky. Rucker looks to get one back. Can't do on this occasion. Stewart now running the floor for the Wildcats. Fisher, too many steps.
And there was a travel call.
Cameron looking to get a bit of room with Stewart. They're really going for it. D'Ambrosio strong again, posting up inside for 2 points.
Well, Ricky Grace was no match for D'Ambrosio on that play. D'Ambrosio just using his size for the lay-in.
Stewart, that is a monster of a three for Ricky Stewart. Anthony Stewart, I should say. (65-57). O's. Oh, he does it with one hand, Ray O's. Now Cameron, can he deliver?
Oh, what a great play. What a great play. Jason Cameron connected on a three after a courageous rebounding effort from Ray O's on one leg and grabbing a rebound with one arm.
Rucker, double teamed on one occasion. He decides to take them on, Derek Rucker.
Derek Rucker, some great individual effort there to score. Now Brad Davison is back on Ricky Grace, and he's overplaying him to it, making him go right, taking away his strength, which is that
A steal
left
by
hand.
Rucker. It's play on, says the referee. Rucker looking to get it back now. Stewart gets two. Rucker now looking to take the game into his own hands.
Derek Rucker.
Straight out into the hands of Todd Lichty. Michaels now.
Well, that was good work from the Suns getting back on defense. Rayo's a bit hesitant on that last shot, but I think he's just too quick for Dwayne Michaels.
Rucker looking for his options. Cameron, this is a good option, is it? Kruger, monster rebound.
Wow. Kruger doing very well that time, getting the rebound over Scott Fisher. He could cause problems in the backcourt.
It's a Price attack score, 76-69.
Suns into a zone as soon as Greg Smith gets into the game.
Stewart. Good hands from Derek Rucker, but Michaels using his height to good advantage, and he'll go to the charity stripe, fouled in the process of shooting.
Here's a big play. The Suns could use a nice big basket from the skipper.
Oh, he'll deliver, but Ray Owes will help it in.
But Ray Owes skippered too.
The two imports combining well. 2:40 to play in this third quarter. Stewart, this is a huge three. It doesn't drop. Brad Davidson, the little
Brad
terrier.
Davidson on the rebound.
He picks up the scraps, and this could bring the crowd alive if they connect here. Rucker is feeling it. Owes does well, but it's into the hands of Lichty. And the Wildcats settle it down through Greg Smith.
Suns still in the 2-3 zone.
Fisher. To Stewart. Well, Fisher was left uncontested, and he just went up and stuck it back for two.
Scott Fisher is very good offensive rebounder, particularly on the weak side. He knows where to be when the ball is shot.
So every time the Suns just get a basket or two back, the Wildcats get that steadying 2 points. Owes from the top of the free throw. It sneaks in.
And it's good.
Kruger sets a big screen, but Rucker doesn't use it. He gets it inside to Owes. Almost stripped of the ball. Davidson for three.
And nothing but net from the human spark plug, Brad Davidson.
Well, right on cue, Brad Davidson delivers. They now trail by three.
He's focused.
Another defensive stop. Smith penetrates out to Lichty. Oh, again, that steadying influence of Todd Lichty.
Wow. Todd Lichty, a former NBA veteran of the Denver Nuggets and one of the leading scorers from Stanford University. There's a lot of experience on the court in Todd Lichty.
So Rucker just looking for the last shot of this quarter. Can it be a good one? He's stripped. It's legal, says the referee.
Oh, Jason Cameron!
He got time. He throws up a prayer.
Oh, what a play.
So at three-quarter time, we've got a ball game. 82-76 on the Price attack score.
You're watching Tip-Off on 7.
Wildcats and the Suns. And after a turnover from the Suns, the Wildcats steady it down through Greg Smith.
Okay, the Suns still in the 2-3 zone. And they'll just have to keep penetration.
Defense from Jason Cameron. Greg Smith had nowhere to go. Ricky Grace, but Smith gets it back for the Wildcats. That'll be a Suns ball. It came off James Crawford.
Oh, that was good. Grant Kruger had his hands in the passing lane, causing that deflection right off of James Crawford.
So the crowd needing some voice in this all-important fourth turn. Davidson stripped of the ball. He saw the open basket and went for it.
Here comes the skipper.
Rucker looks to take him straight to the
And a
hoop.
three-point play from the master, Derek Rucker, drawing the foul on Dwayne Michaels. A three-point play from the skipper. The Suns now trail by 3, 79-82 on the Price Attack scoreboard.
Crawford got it back, wasn't expecting it.
Suns back into a man-to-man defense now. Simon Curl on Ricky Grace. Rayos on James Crawford.
Defense is going to be the key, and Smith just walks his way into the key.
Greg Smith, a very strong guard.
The coaching staff from the Suns wouldn't be happy with that. That was an uncontested layup. The defense just losing a bit. Rayos lost it. Got it back though to Curl. He's been quiet tonight.
Simon Curl with the three.
On cue again. You sometimes wonder whether they hear us.
Wow, it's pretty fortunate that Rayos lost it, because Curl got one more extra.
It's a 2-point ball game. Still the Wildcats. Lichty. Long on the shot.
Rayos. Here come the Suns.
Rayo powering on one leg. He has done an awesome effort again tonight. Stripped of the ball, Rucker. But the foul has been called on Todd Lichty. Curl comes off the screen. And Kruger has been pinned for the foul.
Well, the Wildcats have big Scott Fisher back into the game. Scott Fisher, again, showing his rebounding skills. Creating good position on Grant Kruger and drawing that over the back foul.
Grace, Curl, just not giving him an inch. Oh, not much doubt about that. D'Ambrosas made sure the foul was going to be a good one. And Crawford makes no mistake with them both and gives the Wildcats a 4-point buffer. Still a long way to go in this basketball game, though.
Well, Todd Lichty is now guarding Derek Rucker.
Curl tries to draw the foul. Off-balance shot. Oh, block foul has been called on Jason Cameron. The basketball count too, says the referee. Smith only can't make it a 3-point play. Steal by Fisher. And it will be a Wildcats ball. So a few costly turnovers now starting to creep into the Suns game. They must get a defensive stop. They trail by 6. A lot of experience in the Wildcats outfit, and it's starting to come to the fore through this man, Todd Lichty.
Well, again, it's youth versus experience, and with 8 minutes and 19 seconds to go, the Suns are going to have to really use their young legs and pull out this ball game.
Cameron for 3. It's long. And again, the big bodies of the Wildcats make sure they get the rebound. Yes, SOS higher statistics. Every foul the Suns commit will send the opposition, the Wildcats, to the line. Crawford got a piece of that. And we have an unsportsmanlike foul call on Todd Lichty. It's off the ball.
Well, the Blonde is having fun.
They say they do. And Curl gets them both. This could be a possible 4 to 5 point turnaround to the Suns. Rucker takes Lichty on and gets 2, so it's a 4-point turnaround.
Derek Rucker penetrating and doing a fadeaway jump shot over Todd Lichty, and he follows it up with a steal.
Rucker. Whoa, adrenaline pumping. He went for the 2-pointer.
Suns only trailing by 5, 86-91 on the Price Attack scoreboard.
And we're not even at the halfway stage of this final term. Fisher.
Scott Fisher again getting the offensive rebound.
And gives the Wildcats another 30 seconds. Smith just settles it down. He uses the screen, Smith, and gets 2 points. So Greg Smith getting some handy buckets for the Perth Wildcats.
Greg Smith seems to be one of the strongest guards I've seen.
Well, he was an Australian junior representative. It's a Wildcats ball.
Well, that was just an amazing turnaround. I've never seen that before. The referee signaled the ball going to the Suns, and then the Wildcats, Scott Fisher had a conversation. He goes, "You're right. It's Wildcats ball."
Well, they have to play on, and Rucker has fouled or committed a foul, so Crawford to the line for 2 shots. It's now out to 9. Kruger, curl comes off the screen. This defense is tenacious. That's on Ricky Grace.
Well, Simon Curl, he knows how to fight pressure.
SOS High statistics, 4 personal fouls on Ricky Grace as the human spark plug.
Into the game is the man. He knows what he's got to do. He's got to spark this team that's trailing by 9.
Well, another turnover by the Suns. Term. And the Wildcats, just every time the Suns launch some sort of revival, they just managed to stem the tide through that man. James Crawford, one of them. The experience really coming to the fore.
Well, you got to front the low post. He's tough to stop, James Crawford, once he gets the ball. So whenever he posts, you got to front the post.
Shot clock is at 15 seconds. Rucker is just, the defense was swarming on him, and he still got the shot away.
Well, Doug Rucker got the points. He did it the hard way, but sometimes you just got to do it yourself.
Lichty, a set play. He comes off the screen, but Rayos, the ever-reliable Rayos.
Well, Todd Lichty doing a curl cut off of Scott Fisher, but he was unable to connect. Grant Kruger's got to hold onto the ball a little bit more stronger. Once you get the ball in the low post, I mean, you can't afford to relax at all, particularly as an offensive player. You must be strong with the ball. And I know that Grant Kruger is strong. And just look at the guy.
They've got 18 seconds on the shot clock, the Suns. Rucker just takes a quick glance at it. He penetrates. Cameron, this is for 3. It's short, but Grace looking to run the floor. Smith now. He settles it down. So the 3-point shooting from the Suns again, not what it has been in previous games. Fisher on Kruger, or the other way around. He doesn't like a lot of attention, Scott Fisher.
That was a charge
offensive.
foul. That was a charge foul. And who can take the charge better than the man himself, Jason Cameron?
The Suns have shown their hand. They're trailing at the moment and need baskets. Davidson shot a big 3-pointer earlier in the game. A crucial one. Rayos!
Well, that was a rare miss from Rayos.
I think he was in 2 minds. He didn't know whether to jam it home or just lay it in.
Sometimes when you need a basket, forget the dunk, just get the layup.
Kruger stands his ground. Mitchell Hill, an all-important rebound. 2 Suns players on the floor. So Rucker decides to wait for them, and wisely so. Davidson. Shot clock stands at 10 seconds, so something's got to give. Mitchell Hill, this is huge. It was a long way out, so the execution of the offense not quite there for the Suns.
Well, you know, this is the time where a player needs to step up. I mean, Derek Rucker hits a lot of big shots, but it's time for some of the other guys to play big.
So the Wildcats just feel they've got this game in the keeping, so they'll just be very methodical now. Grace to Crawford. It's becoming monotonous, those two, but that's how they've been doing it all night.
Kieran Mitchell, that's his second key defensive rebound in the last minute.
Rucker, oh, the Suns needed that, but the Alabama slammer just drags in the board. Lichty, plenty of time on this. And that could be the sealer with 2:41 to play.
Well, Tuck Lichty, a great offensive scorer. You can't afford to leave him alone at any time. Going to have to get some three-point bombs in and then put a full-court press and keep bombing away.
Their time is running out for the Suns. It's now a matter of urgency to get some baskets. Davidson for three.
Brian Davidson for the first three. The Suns are trailing now by 9. Now him is spark plug. He always gives you 110% when he's on the court. They'll need another three and a press straight away to get the ball back. It's the only way to catch up, Ken.
They're going to have to use a lot of energy, and fundamental mistakes like that just showing the urgency, but they're costly turnovers. 102 to 91, Davidson fouls quickly to try and stop the clock, but I don't think he meant to foul. He wasn't happy with the call anyway.
Well, now suddenly the referees are going to call the game very tight.
Ricky Grace hits them both just to give his side more breathing space. Price attack score 104 to 91. Davidson for three again. He's long on that shot, but Rucker gets it back. No, Davidson does well. Puts his body on the line. Grace is back on Rucker. They know the man's going to take the game in control, and they really needed that to drop.
They probably will face guard the first two receivers and try to intercept the pass. That's what they're doing.
They almost come up with possession, but gratuitously for the Wildcats, Mitchell Hill fouls, and now Smith will have to earn the points from the line.
Well, there's no guessing what Greg Smith is thinking in the open court. He goes strong to the basket. Well, you know, at this point in time, the Suns haven't played too bad, but I think the Wildcats just had a complete game tonight.
Yeah, they got a lot of contribution from a lot of players. Mitchell Hill. But when you look at the score sheet for the Suns, it really is, again, just O's and Rucker. But Davidson did step up, and D'Ambrosio started well, but just somehow went amiss.
You know, a lot of people, when they talk about older players, they think the old means bad, but again, the Wildcats have the oldest team in the league, but those are quality veteran players. They've played at the NBA level. They've won NBL crowns. There's a lot of experience on the Perth Wildcats. I think they just had a good game tonight.
So it'll be a Wildcats possession with 1:30 left to play in this basketball game. The Suns won't give up just yet. 106 to 92, the price attack score. But it really is safekeeping for the Wildcats. They'd really have to blow it from here. And while Ricky Grace is out there, that is not bound to happen.
You have to consider the Wildcats legitimate playoff material at the moment, playing without the injured Australian boomer, Andrew Vlahov.
Well, exactly. They're currently fourth at the moment.
There's James Crawford having just having a super game tonight.
And he makes it a three-point play. And wouldn't have he been a great acquisition to the Suns, James Crawford. But that's history. Mitchell Hill, he gets 2.
Well, Mitchell Hill doing well to drive that basket right down the middle of the keyway over the outstretched arms of James Crawford.
So Lichty putting on a bit of a show now, as is Greg Smith. The Wildcats are just playing containment basketball. They're just willing to play around with the ball, knowing full well that it's in safekeeping. Grace. Crawford for 3. Rucker got a piece of it, but Crawford gets it back. And that's tenacity for James Crawford. A big game from him tonight.
What can you say? The Wildcats really came to play.
They did tonight, indeed. Jason Cameron tries to get 3 back, but that in itself is the story of the game. Their three-point shooting just wasn't on, and the Wildcats just did everything right. Smith gets the final 2, and it's right on the buzz of the foul, so he'll go to the line to earn 2 shots. In fact, 2 points. And the Wildcats lead 111 to 94, and Greg Smith at the line to shoot 2.
Well, somebody's got to win and somebody's got to lose. Tonight, you just have to credit the Wildcats. They came to play. They came into our house and walked away with a victory.
Well, the Suns just were simply outclassed today. The Perth Wildcats were really on fire. They walked away with a 19-point win. Henry, you really can't take anything away from the Wildcats.
Well, the Wildcats are a great team. A lot of people say they're old, but they are experienced type of old players. And they have a lot of experience with the NBA. Todd Lichty and Ricky Grace and James Crawford are no strangers to NBL Premiership success. So that's a lot of experience. So that was a good win for the Wildcats.
Well, let's have a look at the SOS High statistics, and this will tell a story. Speaking of veterans and old, James Crawford, 35 points. That is just a great effort.
Well, he's just like the legendary Leroy Loggins, who we'll see on Monday night. He just keeps getting better with time.
Okay, and also from the Suns' point of view, Derek Rucker, again, his usual self. But Ray O's, I mean, we just can't keep saying enough of this. He's playing on one leg. He still managed 16 rebounds and 20-odd points.
Well, Ray O's are just showing lots of courage. Again, injuries are part of the game. Sometimes you have to play with pain. He gets my vote for home game hero with 25 points and 16 rebounds. Derek Rucker on 24 points and 7 assists. And, of course, Jason Cameron, an all-out defensive effort, doing all those little things that don't show up in the statistics category.
Yeah, it's good to see Jason Cameron finally get some points for all his efforts. Well, on behalf of Henry, that's tip-off for this Sunday. Don't forget, the Brisbane Bullets are in town tomorrow night, so if you can get down, watch that. But you'll see all that next week right here on Tip-Off.